and screen, pulls back, now drives, in underneath, reverse, good.
Spinning, twirling, scoring, Steve Nash.
Alvin Booth is hurt. He can't get up and down the court.
Nash, oh, and a shot from Nash.
The other way, rollicking down the lane, goes long, hustling back as once. Nash thought about three, keeps it alive. Like
Here quickly.
Nash. Dial taking his time, finds Nash, puts up a three, and got it.
110 to 102. Nash goes down, wheels in the corner. What a pass. Hill with the three. On the beginning, 7:30 tip time. Nash goes in.
Person pushes him out. Picked up by Tinsley. Takes a spill. Shot, corner three.
She got a thing for Chanel vintage that dropped before she could speak English. Do you love me and love seeking attention?
What's up, YouTube? It's Drew. I'm back on a video that comes out with a big body banger. So you can join me into a 2 video. Now, first thing for make sure like I'm subscribing on the road to 3K. You know what I'm saying? Today I'm the build dealer in Little Corner. I'm coming at y'all with this Steve Nash build video. Yes, sir. This was requested, and you know I thought it would be a fun build to make, and I was not wrong. It was pretty fun to make. I had a good time making it, and yeah, I decided to show y'all what it was. But you know, it's pretty straightforward. Y'all know Steve Nash, pretty much a pure playmaker. From the majority of his career, he's averaging a double-double in points and assists. You know, he was an amazing finisher too around the rim, especially for his height. You know, in terms of just being crafty, getting into the rim, you know, just blowing by his defender and creating open looks for his teammates. Obviously, is what he's did it. You know, the best. He wasn't the best defender at all times though, but he had pretty good defense, pretty solid defense. You know, for his height, so he could keep people in front, get steals now and then. So you know, I pretty much I represented that with this build. So without further ado, let's get right into the pie charts. So first thing first, what I used is the pure playmaking pie chart, the pure yellow, because that is what Steve Nash is. That is what he's always been, you know. But with it, obviously, you know, he has some shooting. Steve Nash was an amazing shooter. For most of his career, he shot over 40%. Pretty sure he had a bunch of 50, 40, 90s as well in terms of, you know, 50% field goal, 40% from the three, and then 90% from the free throw line. And for physical profile, you want the pure speed one, the, you know, all purple, because he's a point guard, you know, and Steve Nash was not jumping out of the gym, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, like I was saying before, with his 3-point percentage, it was pretty much 40% for the majority of his career. So I wanted to represent him, you know, his 3-point percentage as well as I could with this build. Obviously, there's no shooting in it, but you will have at least 15 shooting badges, you know, depending on how you make it. You see right here, I have 15 right now. You know, 30 playmaking badges, 3 defensive rebound, 8 finishing. So what that comes out to like 56 badges in total. So that is enough badges to be very effective on the offensive and defensive end with this build. And once you hit 99, keep it all in mind that your 3-point rating will go up +4. So will your mid-range shot and your steal, everything will go up +4. So keep all of that in mind. So you see that he's 6'3", you know, like I said in real life, Steve Nash 6'3". You want to drop the weight down just a little bit so you get 95 acceleration. So 191 pounds, which is pretty good weight for Steve Nash. And you want the wingspan down a little bit just so that your 3-point shot goes up. Because like I said, Steve Nash was a 40% plus 3-point shooter for most of his career. So I really wanted to represent that he could shoot the ball and be a threat from the 3-point line. So that's what you're going to see with this build. And, you know, with how it is, honestly. So I just, obviously, with the wingspan, you won't be able to get into the passing lanes as much, but your steal rating will still be pretty high once you hit 99. And say if you want boosts, you know. And for the takeover, obviously, you go playmaking takeover, but you see the diversity in the takeover, which shows that it can do more than just playmake. So it's pretty good. And you see the comparisons, Isaiah Thomas, Darius Garland, Jamal Murray. Those are pretty good comparisons. And that's the Pistons, Isaiah Thomas. Remember the spelling. Darius Garland is an amazing comparison. I think he does play a lot like Steve Nash. Jamal Murray, not so much, but hey, we'll deal with it. But yeah, so pretty much, like I said, I wanted to capture a pure point guard build on 2K. We don't have many pure point guards in the NBA anymore. What, like maybe right now we have Darius Garland, Chris Paul, Ricky Rubio, you know, but a lot of them aren't superstars like that. See, Chris Paul and Darius Garland looks like he's going to continue the role of the pure point guard, but like everybody else isn't really that much of a pure point guard anymore. You know, even like you can be labeled point guard and not be a pure point guard. Like Damian Lillard is labeled point guard. He is not a pure point guard. Steph Curry is labeled point guard. He is not a pure point guard. You know, he could play shooting guard if he wants. Like back in the day, Allen Iverson was listed as a shooting guard for a reason because of his play style. You know, point guards were thought to pick and roll, get assists, all that, not just be the #1 scoring option. But we are seeing how that's revolutionized as point guards. We've gotten more, you know, have gotten more athletic, bigger, better at scoring. Now point guards are more like the traditional shooting guard, you know, being the #1 scoring option or being the shooter on the team, not even being the dominant ball handler. Like on the Warriors, Steph Curry isn't the dominant ball handler sometimes. A lot of times it's Draymond Green. I don't know if y'all watch, but a lot of times they give it to Draymond Green at the elbow and Steph Curry just runs through screens and then Draymond Green hits him. So it's like, it's stuff like that that kind of shows you how the game has changed. But Steve Nash, look at Steve Nash build jumping that high for the steal though. Steve Nash though was definitely the definition of a pure point guard. He could get to his spots at any time. He was crossing people, mixing people, crafty off the backboard. You know, wasn't he Canadian too? Like it's an extra plus. This man was going crazy on the courts, you know, like he was doing what he had to do. And obviously I feel like he robbed Kobe Bryant of that MVP. I feel like that the year that Steve Nash won the MVP, Kobe should have won it, but he still deserved the MVP. You know, I believe the Suns were like the #1 team in the East at that point. So it wasn't like it wasn't unearned, or you know what I mean? Or it wasn't earned, I should say, because wasn't unearned is you know, terrible. But yeah, it definitely was earned. I think that's the point. So it's like, it's just interesting to see, you know, how his career played out. I wish he would have been able to get a ring though. You know, like I said, the MVP. I don't know if he has multiple. He might have 2. He might have 2. I would have to look that, because somebody in the comment section fact check that for me. But I definitely remember the one that he won when Kobe should have won, because Kobe was averaging like 36 points a game that year, carrying the Lakers with no help. This is before Pau Gasol came. You know, this is like right after Shaq left, and Kobe was carrying the Lakers. This was the same season that Kobe had 81, I believe, and didn't win the MVP. So I'm just going to put that out there. But it doesn't take anything from Steve Nash, who averaged, like, at his peak, I think he was averaging like 16 points a game, 14 assists, 13 assists, like something crazy. It was some crazy double-double numbers like that. And obviously he made that Suns team amazing because they had the point guard that would run the offense. All teams start with the point guard. If the point guard is bad, most likely the team will be bad. You know, the point guard, in my opinion, is the most impactful on the court, and then it's the center. I feel like it's the point guard and the center that can really do damage, or some type of guard. Even the shooting guard isn't as impactful as a point guard, like a pure point guard that can run the offense. I feel like that's where it starts with the game. Because if you don't have anybody that can run the offense will break down. So not even just a point guard, just somebody to run the offense and take control of the basketball and not turn the ball over. And that is exactly what Steve Nash was for the Suns, and literally what he did. And now it's kind of funny that they have Chris Paul, because that's another pure point guard. And we see that the Suns are winning again. You know, we see how amazing the Suns have became since they've had a pure point guard. They've had Devin Booker, but once they got Chris Paul, what happened? You know, so that's just my point. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video, y'all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We on the road to 3K. I'm out. Peace.